Good morning. Welcome to your Friday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, and I was just sitting here thinking, okay, I was fluffing my hair before I started the video, and I thought, I wonder who might observe that. Good morning, Judy. Welcome. You are the first one here today. You kind of think, might they be watching? Not in the paranoid sense, but more in the they've got access. Good morning, Peggy. Good morning to whomever else popped on. I see number 3, and I've only seen 2 of you roll past, so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. We'll see what this Friday has to offer us. Yesterday was quite the toasty day. Holy buckets. So hopefully today is supposed to be like 10 degrees cooler, which would be amazing. I can go for that. Especially since I have some outside things to do. So we shall see what we get. Good morning, Mel. Glad you are here. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome, welcome. Got all of our little fun emojis going flying past. Hearts and flowers and sunshines and rainbows and all that happy stuff. Awesome. So, and we've got a wonderful chapter today in Outrageous Openness. Letting the Divine Take the Lead by Tosha Silver. So if you have your book, feel free to grab it. And what I like about this book is it's very pithy. It gets to the point. And her points are pointed. So this one in particular, I like dovetailing with some of what we talked about earlier this week. And I think many of us are working on this, are working on getting to the point where we trust our own opinion, where we trust our own intuition. Good morning, Cindy. Where we trust our own inner guidance instead of always looking outside for our answers, right? So, good morning, Ruth Ann. Outrageous Openness, Letting the Divine Take the Lead by Tosha Silver. And usually what I do is I just hold the book in my hands and I say, give us something that we need to pay attention to right now. Open to a page, and this is the chapter it opened to. And don't worry that I said chapter, because it's like bathroom reading, 3 pages. You're good. So, a couple of nice deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Letting your shoulders drop, just wiggling a little bit, get your neck loosened up, get everything moving, and then just focus. Hear what you need to hear in this little section. And she does it in a cheeky way, which I like because it makes it easier to absorb the information when she uses humor. Chapter's called, Why Give Your Power to a Reader or Anyone Else? Okay? Good morning from the Pacific Time Zone. Glad you are here. It is page number 130. And there's 2, I love the quotes at the beginning, and this chapter actually has 2 quotes at the beginning, which to me always makes me think, ooh, this is extra important. We need to pay attention. So the first one is, enlightenment is learning to stand on your own 2 feet. Enlightenment is learning to stand on your own 2 feet. And that's by Adishante. And then the next one is by Henry David Thoreau. When you knock, ask to see God, not any of the self-appointed intermediaries. When you knock, ask to see God, not any of the self-appointed intermediaries. Here, let me tell you how to run your life. Okay? So here's the chapter. Some days my work life is a walking contradiction. When I'm not giving classes or writing, I've been giving readings since I was practically a teen. Yet I laugh that I'm the reluctant psychic. Now, don't get me wrong, I often enjoy my work. I like acting as a trusted second opinion to people's intuitions. I like acting as a trusted second opinion to people's intuition. Yet I've always been saddened by how some folks are dying to give their power away to someone, anyone. Some wish they could have a reader decide everything. But a good intuitive never grabs the wheel. She helps people see a reasonable route and know the pitfalls and lessons along the way. She has them match what they are intuitively feeling with the advice. Besides, no one can be 100% accurate with predictions. Our future is what Sanskrit calls the prabhata karma, the bodily destiny combined with what we create through our evolving actions and thoughts. So we still have conscious choice, right? So there may be some destiny kinds of things there, but we're still making choices. Learning to keep our vibration high and positive is the key. We make our future anew every day, since life's a mix of fate and free will, with a dash of mystery that could never be fully read. I love that. Okay, so hear that again. We make our future anew every day, since life is a mix of fate and free will. Life is a mix of fate and free will, with a dash of mystery that could never be fully read. That nails it. To me, that nails it. In a good reading, you are empowered, not some quaking victim of predictions. Your deepest intuitions are confirmed as your body feels the rightness of what you hear. While there are definitely good readers out there, there are some to flee, flee, flee. They profit by creating worry and dependency. They stockpile their bank accounts with the currency of fear. And in any case, I often believe the next right step in a dilemma is to call in divine order. My true passion is helping people align with the divine. Okay, so now she's going to share a story related to this. For years, I have read Elaine and Zelda, one of the first same-sex couples to legally marry in LA. They both have powerful fixed charts, so they have their battles without a doubt. Nonetheless, the more they turn their union over to the divine, the better it goes. Elaine wrote me, alarmed that a psychic promised they'd only be together 2 more years. I asked, why would anyone predict this? You just had a baby together, for Christ's sake. Why create such horrible thoughts? Besides, you never know if such a prediction would create the event. I calmed Elaine down by insisting that if they called in divine order, they'd be together as long as was karmically right. No need to fear. Fortune-telling be damned. The same thing happened to my friend Dave, who was dating a guy he enjoyed, just letting the story unfold. Then a reader, unsolicited, shared that the current boyfriend was wrong for him and a different guy would arrive later. Suddenly Dave could no longer be present. The psychic's words boomed in his brain like a mutant radio station gone mad. I showed him how to let them go. A good reader can be an invaluable Sherpa in the mountains, pointing out which trails work best and helping you find your way. A bad one can lead you right off the next cliff. Don't blindly follow. Your answers are inside you. I think that's very poignant and potent for today. Don't blindly follow. And I'm sure you have had the experience that I had a friend who, well, I still have her as a friend, but for years and years and years, she went to this person and someone else, and this one said this and that one said that, and someone else said something else, and it was always outside of herself. And surprisingly, many of the readings were about trust your intuition, follow your inner guidance. They were telling her what she was supposed to be doing. And yet she still kept looking outside of herself for the guidance. At present, that has really taken a turn. She has gotten much better about consulting within as opposed to constantly tilting at windmills outside of herself. So, what about for you? How well do you trust your inner guidance, your intuition? Remember last week we talked about the intuition being that soul-led self, and the instinct being the body-led self. Both of them have valuable information to offer you. How well do you feel you're doing listening to that and following that guidance? Again, if you want to back it up with something, if you want to get that sense of what your intuition and your instinct are telling you, and then open the book and see what it has, fabulous. But don't lead with that. Don't lead with that. Lead with yourself. And the only way that's going to get stronger is through practice. is through practice. And oftentimes, here's what I think happens. After the fact, after something has played out, we don't bother to go back and say, yeah, I was right on with that. I was spot on. I read that well. We just move on. So I'd like you to look back. I'd like you to look back right here, right now. Let's take a couple of nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And another one in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I want you to look back. Yes, Gwen, always good to look back. In reference to, how well did I assess that? How well did my heart and soul lead me on that? Because when we validate that, then moving forward, when the next one comes up, I mean, I've often said, I know that when I followed my inner guidance, it works out well. When I follow the divine lead, it works out well. But right now I'm facing a new situation, whatever that circumstance is, and it's hard to put that knowledge, that wisdom into play again. It's like, well, what if this time it fails me? No. So, have the faith and trust in that inner wisdom, in that guidance within. Again, if you want to back it up with something, if you want to back it up with an intuitive reading, if you want to back it up with your pendulum, if you want to back it up with the opinion from your great-grandmother's second cousin twice removed who's quite the seer, fine, but don't lead with that. Don't lead with that. Yes, believe in that inner guidance. And here's the deal. Sometimes, kind of going back to the Sherpa idea, ooh, and I gotta share with you that one too. This one came to me the other day. Be your own Sherpa. Steady, sure-footed, solid. Be your own Sherpa. Okay? Sometimes, as if you're following the Sherpa up the mountain, it can be a convoluted path. And you might say, where the heck are they leading me? But sometimes it's a convoluted path. So follow the convoluted path. Keep the faith and trust. Again, Winston Churchill, if you're walking through hell, keep walking. Okay? So, what helps you tune in better? What helps you listen within? For me, it's quiet. I need the quiet. Whether it's my first thing in the morning routine, whether it's take one day at a time, be still and know. Yes, love that one. Be still and know. Be still. Be. Yep. Maybe it's sitting in the middle of a woods. Maybe it's going for a walk where every step you take is part of the meditation. Maybe it's sitting and feeding the birds. Don't feed them bread, okay? Maybe it's doing some journaling, being still and then writing it down. Sometimes seeing it on the page, printed on the page in our own handwriting is amazing. Something will leap off the page like, wow, where'd that come from? The divine. Through you, out the pen, onto the page. All right? So, yes, quiet. Quiet, quiet, quiet. And being out in nature, fabulous. Yep. Let's engage in that activity. How often do we put off engaging in that activity? Well, it's a work week, I'm busy, blah, blah, blah. I had someone who sent me a message that said, I took next week off. To hell with it. I'm taking next week off. That's going to be time to just be. Time to just be, to settle in, to connect, to listen within. What am I called to do? What am I called to notice? What am I called to feel? Etc., etc., etc. All right? So, that is our chapter. And I want to hit that one little piece again because it's singing to me. Let me find it here. There it is. Life is a mix of fate and free will, with a dash of mystery that could never fully be read. I love that. Let's end on that. Have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are, including that inner knowing. Bye-bye.